Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield 4 minutes to the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Paul.
The gentleman from Texas is recognized for 4 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you for yielding the time. Would like to first compliment the gentleman, Mr. Barton from Texas, for having brought this to the House floor. I think it's a wonderful opportunity for us to discuss a very important issue and also to make a proposal to do some good around here. Limiting taxes happens to be an issue that is dear to my heart and something I want to talk about. I have a philosophy about taxes. One is that taxes really hurt us twice. Once when we take the money from the people, then when we go and spend it. So rarely do we spend the money wisely, but the people always seem to be hurt. I have yet, in my many years' experience in political life, have anybody come up to me and say, go to Washington, raise taxes. Everybody feels that they are overtaxed. Anything that we could do to limit taxes, I think, would be beneficial. Whether or not this amendment will solve all our problems is another issue. Quite frankly, it isn't going to solve all our problems. We've seen a proposal floating around for several years about balancing the budget. I am not enthusiastic about the balanced budget amendment, precisely because that amendment in itself does not preclude what this amendment does, and that is raising taxes in order to balance the budget. That would be very, very detrimental. The important issue that we have to deal with is the level of government expenditures. If we have a balanced budget at $2 trillion a year, that is very detrimental. If we have an unbalanced budget at $1 trillion a year, at least the American people would have more of their own money to spend. This is an effort to move in the direction of limiting taxes, and I think this is very, very important. There's a lot of things, though, that are out of our control. For instance, a small tax increase is not going to be included here. If we change the tax code and change indexing, taxes will go up, and this will not be included. Another tax that is not talked about much around here, but I consider it a very important tax, and that is the inflation tax. If we in the Congress spend too much, we do not have enough revenues, we can send the bill to the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve creates credit, and therefore diluting the value of our money, and the people suffer because their cost of living goes up. So that indeed is a tax. We don't have a whole lot of choices on how we accommodate our spending habits here. First, we can tax people. Second, we can borrow. And the other is we can inflate. All these are detrimental. The important issue is to limit government spending. We will not solve any of our problems here until we address the serious subject of what should the role of government be. If we continue to believe that the role of government should be to perpetuate a bankrupt welfare state and to police the world and tell people how to live their personal lives, quite frankly, we are not going to get anywhere in solving our problems. We cannot patch this together. Collecting more revenues would be detrimental. Collecting less revenues would put more pressure on us to spend less money. But then again, it's not going to deal with the subject of interest rates. What happens if this year the interest rates go up 1%, which they may because interest rates are rising once again? And if interest rates go up 1%, it adds $50 billion to our interest payment on our national debt. That is out of our direct control here in the House or in the Senate. We cannot take care of that just by passing another law or raising taxes. Also, we do not have control of the business cycle. We should have much better control because we understand and should understand the business cycle, and we should prevent the downturns. But sure enough, there will be another recession. Entitlement payments will automatically go up, put more pressure on us with a deficit, and also put more pressure on those who would like to say, well, if the spending's going up, we have to take care of the people. What we need to do is raise taxes. The easier, the better. Very, very dangerous situation when it's easy to raise taxes. The founders of this country in no way intended that taxes on income should ever occur, let alone be done easily. So this is a small effort in the right direction. I ask for a yea vote on this amendment.
The gentleman's time has expired.